guys, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Lovely. How is everyone? Good. Okay, so just going to whip through the safety brief. Thank you very much for getting it semi on time. We've got some young kids at the top gate. I don't know, didn't really think that through. Need to probably leave them on the road, can we? Either way, never mind. Wait for them to get down, then shoot them. Okay, so we're going to go through the safety brief and then the first game brief and straight out into game, guys, so we can get you out into game earlier on, work on the new timing. So first of all, my name's Chris, I'm your head marshal. Welcome to Phoenix Airsoft. Today within the team, I've got Brad, Alfie, Kieran's just gone to go and rescue the children from the top gate. He's also in game as well. Daniel, some of you met this morning in the shop. If any of you got any issues, any questions about anything, feel free to come and see one of us and we'll get yourself, well, try to get you sorted at least anyway. Player marshals, we've got a couple in game today, a couple we're going to sort out. Simon, help us out, mate. Stick a band on, you semi know what you're doing, don't you? Yeah. Ish. Right, okay, so your player marshals, they're just the same as any other marshal, but they're signified by a blue band on their shoulder, on their arm, okay? We're here to help you out, keep the games flowing, more importantly, to keep you safe. So if we ask you to do something, if you can just make sure you do that for us. Don't really care if you agree with us or not or anything else. If we're telling you to do something, it's for a good reason, so just crack on and go from there. And that's that. Okay, so has anyone not booked in this morning? Everyone got the wristband on? Lovely. Anyone not been through chrono? One person. Hey, just come down, stand out here for me. Where's Alfie gone? Yeah, we'll sort you out before. We'll sort you straight away to get you into game, mate. No bother at all. Okay. With all your belongings and everything else, guys, try and kit up out your cars. Try and keep anything valuable or anything else out your cars. It's all locked and stuff. We do have lockers down here as well, just behind me. Feel free to use those. There will be a marshal on site in the safe zone at all times as well, but just try and keep things safe. Right, COVID. Brief thing on that. COVID is still a bit of an issue for the time being, I guess. Excuse me. Keep yourselves 2 meters apart where you can. Hand sanitizers all over the place, feel free to use that. Face mask when you're indoors. Again, if you can keep it to 2 people when you're at the shop, at the front of the counter there, and also at the cafe later on this afternoon. That'd be grand. Fuck off, Jeff. Why would he call me? So that's that. Okay. Does anyone on site today have any issue with touching someone they don't know on the shoulder, whatever it might be? You don't have to hold on to them, just touch them for medic purposes. No? Lovely, we'll come back onto that later on. Okay, so equipment then, guys. Mandatory pieces of equipment. First of all, iPro must be worn at all times in the game area. I don't care what the reason is, it doesn't matter whether you're fogging up or anything else, you keep your iPro on. If you do have an issue with your iPro and you need that to be dealt with, come and see one of the marshals, no problem at all. And we'll sort out you being able to do that safely without any risk of you going blind or anything else like that. Okay. Excuse me. Phoenix Airsoft recommends that you wear full face protection. Okay. If you're under 16, it is compulsory. You have to wear face protection. We want to send you home with the same number of teeth to mummy and daddy, so we don't get anyone complaining about it. Okay. On the subject of Face Pro, we highly recommend that you wear it. The reason for that is this is Airsoft. You have quite literally paid to play Airsoft, which involves you shooting people without getting arrested. The flip side of that is you will get shot. Some of those shots will go in places you don't want them to. We'll leave it to your imagination. However, some of those might go towards your head or your face. If you don't want to get shot in the head or face, you wear face protection. The one rule of Phoenix Airsoft when it comes to headshots: you don't moan about headshots. It's Airsoft. It's as simple as that. They will happen. If we're talking about overkill and people being deliberately nasty to try and hurt you, that's different, but don't moan about headshots. If you don't want to get shot in the face, put face pro on, that's it, job done. Okay? Don't be like Sam, who takes the piss out of people for wearing face pro and then gets his teeth shot out because he looks like an absolute tool, don't you, Sam? There we go. Lovely. Never mind. Okay. More kit, but this is optional, guys. This is up to you. We recommend boots. Anyone wearing trainers? Guys, no problems at all. It's just one of those things. It's normal. Cinch those up so they're uncomfortably tight. Give you a little bit of sort of something that resembles support. Just be really careful. Mother Nature's not all that forgiving, all that sort of stuff. Okay. Shorts. Yeah, if you're short, you'd be either really cool if you're wearing shorts or an absolute idiot. And also, in all seriousness, guys, again, it's been a bit wet, it's a bit slippy. Just take some care when you're knocking about site and everything else, but, you know, it's great to have fun, all the rest of it. Okay, so boundaries for the site. First of all, you've all driven through the main gate, or I hope you have. Right at the top there, that's one boundary to the site. If you find yourself climbing over a fence, you're in the farmer's field. Again, you've gone too far. He has shotguns that are actually real, so probably come back this way a little bit. And he might take exception to you walking on land with, which technically classes as armed trespass, so let's not do that. Down at the bottom of the site, we've got a footpath that dissects the site there. Again, don't go onto that. And again, if you're dodging traffic, you've gone too far in that direction, okay? The safe zone, you've all driven past the great big banners on the road. They're the ones that say safe zone on it, which means you're in the safe zone. I'll spell this out because some people don't get it. So all this area all the way down the road here, right the way down the road, the area that you're on now, and in here, this is your safe place, people. This means you don't have to have your eye protection on, but on the flip side of that, no magazines in guns. I don't care if it's a pistol, rifle, whatever it might be, unload everything before you come back into the into the safe zone. A marshal will be on the road or the different access points to make sure you're checking. Well, we check those before you come on at the end of each game, but just make sure yourselves you're not taking a loaded gun into the safe zone. Simple as that. Okay. While you're in the safe zone, do not put your mags anywhere near your guns, as I said, but also do not pull your triggers. Don't test your guns are on safe by pulling the trigger. You just don't touch it. Simple as that. Leave it on safe and that's it. Okay. Excuse me. Same goes for pyro as well. No explosives in the safe zone either. Okay. General behaviours and things like that we're accepted on site. We're very, very proud of our player base. Most of you are all absolutely lovely. In fact, well, a few exceptions, but most of you are lovely. On that note, everyone should be here to have a good time, have a good laugh and everything else. If you're here for any other reason other than that, just go home now because my patience levels are very, very low, which you will find out. 2, no drugs and alcohol on site. Any acts of threats or acts of violence on site will end your day very, very, very swiftly. Very swiftly. None of that whatsoever. We did have a little something yesterday. I won't labour on about it. However, you're all dressed up. You've all got masks on. We had a grown man having to go at a 14-year-old kid. That didn't end well for the grown man. Don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. We do have some youngsters on site as well. On that note, they probably had worse at home. However, try and keep the language to a minimum. No dropping the C-bombs for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Now, that's that. You really calm out. You are, aren't you? I bet you are. There she is. Right, never mind. If she swears that, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just take it on the chin. That's that. Okay. So, general commands throughout the day that I'm going to be using to keep the games flowing and keep you guys safe. So, first of all, your games will start with a shout of game on. Unleash hell. Gladiator. Beautiful. Games will be stopped with a shout of end X. End exercise. Simple as that. You put your gun on safe and you then wait for the next command, whether that's back down to the safe zone to bomb up or launch or whatever, or the next game brief to crack on and go from there. Okay? Excuse me. Safety stuff. Mag out and clear. You can be asked to mag out and clear a lot today, especially every single time you come into the safe zone. What I mean by that is you take your magazine out of your guns, all of them. If it's an AEG or a rifle or whatever, you then put 3 shots into the ground, something nice and soft so that the marshal can see you doing it as you pass them. Any gas guns, your pistols and everything else, you just show them that you've got no magazine in. So quite simple, hold your pistol up, shoot 3 rounds into the ground as you're passing the marshal, job done, nice and simple. Okay? Ceasefire. Really, really, really important command this, guys. If you guys see anything on site that you're not happy with, whether that's a member of public, dog walker, vehicle, I don't know, one of your mates is hurt, anyone's hurt or anything else like that, any kind of health and safety issues, someone's got problems with their iPro, whatever it might be, you shout ceasefire, nice and loud. On the flip side of that, when you hear the command of ceasefire, you stop still and you shout ceasefire where you're standing, because we want it echoing all the way around the woodland to make sure that everyone knows that we're stopping game and no one's continuing to fire. So what you do when you hear ceasefire, you shout ceasefire, you stand still, you put your gun on safe. If you've got a sling to your weapon, you just drop your gun by your side so that way you've got nothing in your hands. If you don't have a sling on your gun, you put it on safe and you put it on the floor. Again, so you've got nothing in your hands. The reason being, airsofters like nothing more than pulling their triggers at the most stupid, ridiculous times and we don't need it when during a ceasefire. Most of the time when we call in ceasefire, it's for cars, and also for more serious stuff, things like health and safety, someone's injured themselves, that kind of stuff. The last thing we need is people shooting at people while we're trying to deal with someone's busted up leg or whatever. Okay, so none of that. Fire evacuation point, probably unlikely today, especially with a bit of rain. However, if we do have a fire, the evacuation point is down on the bottom car park. Don't come back and get all your kit. Get yourself straight down the bottom. We'll then call the register, make sure you're all here, make sure everyone's safe, and then the marshals will deal with stuff from there. Okay? Now, most of you played Airsoft before, even the ones that don't. The worst thing about Airsoft is people cheating, or people perceived to be cheating. Again, I keep picking you guys up. We have a wonderful player base here. Cheating is very, very, well, few and far between we get cases of that. However, the ways that we deal with cheating on site, if you come here for the wrong reason and you're going to be an idiot, I will send you home straight away. Whether that's permanently or whatever, that's one of those. However, if it's just a little bit, someone's getting a little bit heated or made a mistake, whatever it might be, we operate a 3-strike rule, okay? First things first. I've got cause to speak to Rob. I've got cause to speak to you for some reason, mate. What I'll do, very nicely, just pull you out of the game, have a little word with you. Just watch this, mate. No problems at all. Crack on. No issues at all. Rob does something else. I'll go and have another word with Rob. However, this time, I'm still nice, but my patience levels are going a little bit. Rob will be coming out of game, he'll sit out that game, just have a think about his life and what he's doing and how he probably shouldn't have had kids. Or that kind of stuff. Sorry, Dad. Anyway, so from there, that's that. So basically just have a bit of a timeout, that kind of thing. So whether that's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, doesn't matter, just have a bit of a sit out. If I've got cause to speak to you again for a third time, you're now taking more of my time than I'm happy with, more of the marshal's time, you're also affecting everyone else on site. You will be going home. Don't be that person. Simple as that. Depending on how silly you've been, will depend on whether you're banned for like a day, a week, a month, whatever it might be. You go from there. We haven't needed to ban anyone in ages. I was getting quite used to it, got through a few in a short period of time. I haven't banned anyone in ages. Quite, I don't know, disappointing, I suppose, but either way, one of those. However, so I'm sure we won't have to have any issues with that. So, the main examples of cheating that we don't want to be seeing throughout the day. First things first, people not taking the hits. If you've been hit, doesn't matter whether you can see where that shots come from. We've got people that are dressed as bushes, and we've got plenty of bushes on site. If you're dressed as a bush, you're in a bush, probably not going to see them, are you? So, doesn't matter if you can see where the shots come from. It doesn't matter whether it's your mate shooting the arse because he thinks it's funny, or she thinks it's funny. If you're hit, you take your hit. If you think you've been hit, but you're not sure you've been hit, call your hit. Simple as that. You won't be out of the game for very long. Just go and crack on and move on. The way we do that is nice and simple. Hit! Nice and loud. All right, Simon, good lads. Nice shot, mate. You killed me. First time ever. Congratulations. So with that, the reason why we do that, there's an audible there so we can hear them say hit. We're in a woodland, it's all green, there's lots of bushes. He might not be able to see me, so I'm shouting hit so he knows I'm hit. I'm giving a little wave so he knows it. There's no confusion. Nice and simple. Okay? I'll come back onto that in a second. Excuse me. Gun hits do not count. If you get shot in the gun that you're carrying, you shout weapon hit or gun hit and you crack on. Ricochets do not count either. Excuse me. Knife kills. Anyone got any rubber knives, axes, swords, anything? Right. Couple. Okay. Knife kills count. Knife kills are silent. So if one of these guys sneaks up on you, taps you on the shoulder with your knife. Right. If Ben gets any knife kills today, something has gone very wrong. He's the loudest person I've ever, there we go, loudest person I've ever met. If he sneaks up on you, something has gone very wrong. Have a word with yourself. However, when that happens, you don't shout hit. You just put your hand in the air and watch him go around and kill all your mates as well to be funny. Okay?
Don't lie, I'll get shot.
You won't get any, mate. I was just being kind. Simple as that. When you're dead and you're moving around site, maybe you're moving to a regen point, you put your hand in the air and you shout dead man walking or dead girl walking, whatever you want to do. Okay? Don't complain about getting shot by somebody if you've not got your hand up. Guess what? Your hand's not up, you're not dead. Simple as that. Okay. Next thing, cheat calling. Fella down here, I don't know him, new to site. I'm shooting him, I'm seeing the BBs bouncing off him, all this sort of stuff. I go, right, you know what, I'm going to get really upset about that. I'm going to start shouting at him. That's not on, guys. We don't want anyone falling out. We don't want anyone shouting, swearing, or anything else like that at all. If I've got a problem with Chappie down here, Marshall, I'm over here. We're lucky enough to have a really proactive team here. We will come over, we will deal with it, and we'll go from there. What we don't want to hear is, oh yeah, that guy was cheating. What's he look like? He's a guy, mid-height, mid-weight, carrying an M4 in multicam, because there's 50 of you. So give us a bit of a description, try and help us out on the day. We do not want cheaters of any kind at all. Simple as that. More than likely when I'm shooting Chappie over here though, I'm not hitting him. The reason for that, guys, is you're shooting two toy guns with little plastic balls down smooth bore barrels. They're not as accurate as you think. Just because you stick your red dot on someone does not mean you're hitting them. Simple as that. There was a dude the other day that complained about one of the snipers not taking his hits. The sniper was about a good 100 meters away from him. He repositioned because he couldn't hit him, and the guy with the pistol that was underhopping about 15 meters was complaining about the sniper not taking his hits 100 meters away. What can you do? Okay, so just if you can see the BBs bouncing off them, then have a word, sort it out, and Marshall will sort it out and go from there. Okay, but we don't want any arguments. Okay, simple as that. Dead men don't talk. When you're dead, if you want to talk about last night's dinner, who's doing what later on or anything else, it's perfectly fine, but nothing game related. No, the sniper's over there or come over there, whatever it might be. Nothing like that. That is cheating. We don't want it. Simple as that. Okay. We operate an A4 rule on site, guys. If the hole isn't A4, the size of an A4 piece of paper, you don't shoot through it. Simple as that. Blind firing is when you can't see where your BBs are, where you're shooting. You're shooting over cover like this, and it's the Terry Taliban, round corners, whatever it might be. Don't do any of that. You need to be able to see where your BBs are going. None of this sticking around corners. That's some safety issues, guys. Morning, Dave. Morning. Overkill. We've talked about this. It's a woodland, bushes everywhere, all the rest of it. Don't mag gun people. Don't sit there and put 250 rounds in someone and go, oh yeah, he's called his hit. Or she's called a hit. Short bursts give people the opportunity to try to call a hit and watch for hands in the air. Simple as that. Your marshals are here on site to keep the games going, keep you guys safe. If we tell you to do something, ask you to do something, do it for us. Simple as that. First rule of airsoft, don't be a dick. Simple as that. Thank you, Enola Gate. If you think you shouldn't be doing something, chances are you shouldn't be doing it. Simple as that. Okay. Medic rules. We'll brief the medic rules at the start of each game. However, generally on site we'll be playing hit medic, hit regen. So the first time you get shot, you're allowed a medic. So you stand there for 2 minutes, with your hand in the air shouting medic. One of your own teammates or someone comes over and medics you, which is a 10-second count, touches on the shoulder, whatever it might be. You count down from 10 or up to 10 and then shout back in and you're back in the game. Second time you hit, you go to one of the regen flags. The regen flags will be pointed out to the start of each game, but we've got like 26 of them, there's loads of them, so don't worry about that. What's that, bro? Okay, never mind. Excuse me. We do not operate a bang rule on site. Bang rules cause far more trouble than they're worth. Do not start jumping around corners shouting bang bang. It's ridiculous, it's American, it's rubbish, don't do it. However, we do offer a surrender rule, which is nice and simple. If I get the drop on someone and I don't want to shoot them in the back, I can say, all right, mate, surrender. And he can say, oh yeah, fair enough. I don't want to get shot. Too close, that's fine, I'll call that. Stick me on you there, no bother at all. It's also completely optional, which means you can turn around and shoot me. It's perfectly fine. Basically, just shoot people once. Nice fleshy bit. Love handle, put on the arm, arse, whatever you want. Just nice shot, makes it they know they're dead. Simple as that, okay? Rates of fire, guys. Generally speaking, when we're, again it'll be brief, but generally speaking, when we're in the open woodland, you're free to use full auto. Okay, when we're in some of the bigger buildings, it's semi-auto both into and out of those buildings. It will be briefed at the start of each game, simple as that. All guns, all weapons on site must have a semi-option. LMGs are the exception to that. If you're one of these cool kids, or, well, you're the exception, Ben. If you're one of these cool kids that's carrying around 6 to 10 kilos worth of LMG, fair play. One of those. You've got what?
I've got 4,000 rounds on it.
All right, mate. All right, mate. We'll speak to you
I'm
later.
sure none of them will hit you.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, anyone got any binary triggers? Any binary triggers in Chrono this morning? No? You? Do you have a semi option? Sorry?
I can turn it off.
You need to have a semi option, mate. Lovely. Okay. This is for your HPA fellas, all the rest of it. The BFGs, no feather in the trigger, none of this. Again, we're not American. You get a proper pistol grip and you use it and go like that, no bother at all. Anyone got any 40 mics, master mics on site? No, lovely. They're perfectly fine. However, they're not semi-auto, so again, not indoors. Pyro. The good news is you can use whatever you like as long as you've not made it yourself. Classified into 3 different categories. First of all is paper pyro. Throw that overarm through windows as far as you like, no problem at all. Just don't throw it directly at somebody, no bother. BFGs, so blank firing grenades, big lumps of metal and plastic. Again, you can still use those, don't care what charger you've got in them, fill your boots, all good. However, you either post them or underarm them, and you have to be able to see where they're landing. We don't want to get anyone getting hit on the head, simple as that. Your last one is any launcher device. You've got your tags with you?
Not today.
Good. Anyone else got any tag rounds with them? No? Right, perfect. Simple as that. The kill radius for any type of pyro is 10 meters, guys. If you're in any doubt at all, call that hit. The only thing that stops you from being hit is hard cover, which is not your mate, it's not a bush, and it's not a small tree when you're a tree this big when you're this big, okay? Has to be hard cover. Simple as that. I can't see shit. That's you. Snipers and your DMRs, have you all got a sidearm that shoots under 370? Yeah, lovely, no problem at all. If you don't have a sidearm that shoots under 370, you have to run away. Simple as that. Your minimum engagement distance is 20 meters. That's not a target, it's a minimum. If you're anywhere near close to that, switch to your sidearm. Simple as that. With your bands, guys, you snipers are going to... Guys, listen up. Snipers with your bands, you are going to stick them on your feet. You are going to hide them in your gillies. It's just one of those things. You're going to do it, that's fine. Don't moan about it when you get the team killed. Simple as that. If it moves, it gets shot in airsoft. It's as simple as that. Last thing, guys, timings. Want to make sure you guys get as many games in as possible. So when we ask you to be out here in 5 minutes, be here in 5 minutes. Lunch is at 1 o'clock for an hour until 2, and the game day will finish anywhere between about 4:30ish. Okay. Last thing. If you brought it on site, you either take it home or it goes in the bin. Don't leave your shit and your rubbish all over the site, all over the woodland. All good. Anyone got any questions? Lovely. Right.